Hello everyone. It's Kathy with Paper Phenomenon. We're here to mat layout number 2. So this is moving parts 2, layout 2. I'm taking you through this super speedy process here because I just wanted you to see how I attach these pockets under the pattern paper. In the assembly process for layout number 2, I represent the pattern paper with a piece of white paper. In that assembly process for the reference layout. So here, same assembly, but using pattern paper, and I just wanted you guys to see how I came to this part here. All right, as with everything, guys, if you're interested in making this project with me, please check your description box below. All of the links are down there for easy access. The paper collection I'm using for this project is Dude's Life, and you can find that also in my shop, paperphenomenon.com. So enjoy this process. In about a minute or two, you'll start hearing me talk and I take you through the matting process. I just wanted you to see how I attach these pockets on top of the pattern paper. Enjoy. Don't forget to leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think about this layout. And be sure to like and subscribe if you don't like and subscribe yet to my channel. All right, guys, so I have a piece of acetate, and you can have a smaller piece of acetate than this. This is just a piece I have laying around. And I picked my 3 pieces of paper to finish matting this layout here. All right, so let's get started with this. This is layout number 2, just in case. Now, I promise you acetate for these layouts, right? Well, you're going to get acetate even in this one. So for this, I love the remember on top. So I'm going to make this the closure. And the way that we're going to do that is with this acetate. So I'm going to measure my remember. All right, and I need about a 1/2 inch. And then I want it to go past the remember. So I'm going to go 1 3/4 inches. All right, and I think I'm going to cut this by hand. Okay, and I'm going to stick that in there as far as it goes, because remember, I only glued around the edge. And what this is going to do is it's going to give us that kind of that recoil action. It's going to remember where it needs to stay. All right, if you don't put the acetate there, the remember just creases and it will just stay creased there always. But if you put acetate, it will not crease and it'll give it some resistance that it will act as a closure. So we're sticking this acetate behind the remember, in between the pattern paper and the cardstock, and we're sticking it down completely. All right, complete stick. Try not to let it stick onto the photo mat, etc. You know what I mean? So go ahead, just press down, get rid of all that excess glue. But what you may want to do is grab a piece of parchment and put it underneath there until it dries. There you go. That's perfect. Do that. That way it will dry. And you're going to have the perfect little closure, because you'll be able to pull it back and boom, it'll snap back right on top of your photo mat. So that's a perfect way to create a closure with your pattern paper. Okay, this is perfect for, I'll show you for all sorts of closures, and you shall see that throughout this entire process. So for this piece down here, I'm going to go with this piece of paper. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and measure and cut my mat down to size. Remember, for matting, I know I sound like a broken record, but what you do is you measure the area you want to mat, and then you cut 1/4 inch smaller. Okay, 1/4 inch smaller on both sides. And this is double-sided paper, but you get 2 of each in your paper pack. If you're using the printed collection, you get 2 of each in your paper pack. If you're using the digital, then you go ahead and you print, my friends. All right, so this goes here. And I like to pin, what I call pinning, but it's really paper clipping, my pattern paper down until I know for sure that I love it. Okay, then I'm going to use this one right here, either that one or this one. Let's see which one I like better. I like to audition my papers. I'm going to go with this one. So because we have a mat here, I have to measure up to my photo mat, get that measurement, and in this case, I'm not going to cut it 1/4 of an inch smaller from the height because I want it to butt up all the way against this photo mat right here. But I will follow my matting rules going in this horizontal orientation. Already forgot this measurement. Good job, Kat. Good job. All right, so I'm going to come from here. I want this side. I have to remember this is my bottom. So I'm just going to cut. I'm not worrying about the design too much. So this is going to go right here, but up against the edge of the frame and center from side to side, right? Just like if we were matting. And then we have another mat here, so I have to measure from here to the bottom. And I've got that measurement. So I want to follow the same exact pattern. Okay, you don't have to, but in my case, I want to. Okay, I want to. And I cut from this side. Same width this way, and there we have it. Right, so there's that. You can choose to leave space or you can choose not to leave space. In my case, I'm not leaving any space. And then now I have this piece here, and this is at 3/4 of an inch. So one of these pieces would work, right? But I want to have the same pattern, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut exactly where I need to so it can continue. And I gotta make sure it's this away. Yep. It's not this away, is it? Oh, it could be this away. I like this away. Yeah, it is this away. It is that away. All right. And there we have it, guys. So I personally like to leave a teeny bit of space. I feel like it looks really nice. Just a teeny bit. So like right here, for this one, I would bring this one down just a hair. Right? That way I can leave a teeny bit of space in between them. And it just looks a little bit more, in my humble opinion, artistic. All right, so there is that all matted. Let me see if I can bring the lights down here a little bit. Ah, there we go. Those lights just take away from all the beautiful paper. All right, so notice I haven't flipped this back yet because I don't want to, I want it to dry really, really well. All right, so I am gonna mat inside this pocket. All right, so the paper I chose for the top of that is this one. So I'm gonna cut a strip. I want to mat a quarter, the rule is mat 1/4 of an inch inside your pocket, 1/4 to 1/2 inch, no more than that, please. Inside your pocket. Okay, and cutting. And I'm going to try to cut where a word begins on the corner, right? And then it doesn't matter where it ends, at least for me, for my matting preference. Right, so that's going to go right here. All right, right there. And you can, what I call, pin this so it can stay in its place, because once my pattern paper fell inside my pocket and I spent I mean, who knows how much time looking for it, and my pattern paper was in my pocket, and I just dismantled my entire desk looking for my pattern paper. So, yeah. So just think about that, my friends. I should have cut this one just a wee bit longer. I'm going to have to cut this again. I want it to come all the way. I want it to line up here, and I went just a hair too short. But that's okay. I don't mind cutting again. Okay? So I'm going to cut off where the words end there, because I don't want that. I want some clean words at the top. And I went a little bit longer here. So I'm going to there. And then I'm going a little bit bigger so I know exactly what I need. Yeah, okay, so, and I still think I have to go shorter, but I just don't want that. I may have to just mat outside of this pocket because I'll explain to you why. I want a different color there. I want this to go something like that. Let me grab another piece. Hold on. Aha, look at that. This is what I want. Ideally, I would love it to be just slightly wider, but I'm going to have to cut another piece. I don't want to, right? Because these pieces seem to work out really well, but it is what it is, my friends. We must sacrifice. Oh, I can do this right here. Let's see. Yeah, I can do this piece. All right, let me cut this piece here on the side. So, excuse me. See what I get here. And I know I have to cut this just a wee bit shorter. But am I cutting from the top or the bottom? Oh, I do not have to cut that at all. Cheese and crackers, I'm glad I measured. I tested first. All right, I can live with that, guys. I can absolutely live with that. And I'm going to have to sacrifice matting inside the pocket. Nah, I guess not. Okay. I thought I had to. I thought there was going to be too much of a gap between these two pattern papers, but there is not. So I can mat inside my pocket. Get over here. All right, I like to have perfect spacing, just so I can see what I have going on here. And I really love how this looks right here. Just disregard the terrible spacing right now, right here. But I do love that. I love that we can see. All right, this is dry enough so I can pull it back. See that? When it was just the pattern paper, it would stay up. Now it just snaps right back. So you see what you see here, guys. Look at that. Love that. All right, so here we can put a pocket card. I don't know. Let's see. Is that what we want to do? I'm not sure. Let's take a look at these and bring in some color. I do like that one. Oh, and I do like this one too. Very nice. Oh my gosh, so don't you just love it when everything just works? My goodness, everything just works. I like these colors here too. Let's see, something that really, oh, this one may pop nicely too. Did I put this one here? Oh yeah, here we go. It's got a lot of open space. And then we can do photo mats here. So we can do 2 3x3s. One here. And then put this back in our little thing. Or we can do a 3x4 and pattern paper down here, which would be nice. I do like that. Oh, let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. This fits perfectly there, but do I want that? I do like that. Nah, let's do a different piece of pattern paper, shall we? I do like that. What does this measure? Because it's a perfect measurement. 1 3/4 inches. Or should I do something completely contrasting? We'll see. Let's try it, my friends. You don't know until you try it. Have to whack off another little strip because I don't want it to begin with some cutoff words. Don't want that. Okay. And then I like it to begin with, let's let it begin with the word build. And then we cut it off somewhere around here. Oh yeah, I love that. And I could put a small embellishment here and it'll still pop. Love, love, love. Okay, we are keeping this. Now, of course, you know I want to ink. Oh, especially these pieces here because it will make them look amazing. So if you don't want the separation in the cardstock, then you can do not ink, right? If you want it, then you ink. I say go for the inking, guys. Okay, so I'm going to take a break in between my inking so that I don't hurt myself so much. Right, normally I ink everything and then I do, you know, then I move on to the next step. That necessarily may not be a good thing. All right, so this first layer that you attach is going to set the tone for the rest of the pocket. So pay attention to where you're attaching this and how straight it is or not, right? So that you can get it on there really well so the other ones can just follow through. Paper clip. Well, I can keep this here. I know I want this. This is definitely staying, so let's glue that. And normally I would ink these photo mats because they just look good, right? But I'm not doing that today. And I'm still inking with the Hickory Smoke, if you guys are wondering. I like the way it looks on this paper. It's not black, but it's dark enough. And it's not brown. I don't want brown. So that all looks good. If you want to make this a little tuck area, you can glue on 3 sides. Okay, that is entirely up to you. All right, and I'm going to glue this on 3 sides just in case I need to tuck something under here. I'm not quite sure just yet. All right, okay, so let's bring this down. And we have to make sure that this is going to be just right. Perfect alignment. Perfect spacing. Pull that back. See how it snaps right back there for you? It's perfect. The word of the day, perfect. Maybe I'll start saying it with an accent, a British accent. So it sounds different. All right, so that's not the way. This is the way. All right, so let's get our glue on there. And remember that alignment is everything. I went a little rogue on this side, did I? Leash, I went a little crooked. But that's all right. Use your burnishing tool when necessary. And now this goes into the pocket. Remember, I never glue inside the pocket because I don't want my glue to ooze to the inside of the pocket. And then I have a sealed pocket. Okay, and then whip this up very quickly. Let's ink. Uh-oh, wrong inking hand. And let's attach this right now. Oh, perfect. And although the design does not line up, I like the way that it's situated. So I'm leaving it like that. All right, and get over here. All right, that I'm so happy with that. Look at that. When you open it, look what pretty you get. Very nice. Let's continue. All right, guys. So I went ahead and I inked this piece here. And so we're going to glue this down. I'm not going to attach anything to the edge of this because I don't want to cover up the frame that's under here because everything just looks good. So I'm not going to add anything there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this one down. Okay, so that is done. Then I picked this piece to be kind of like my title when you have a layout, right? So I'm going to glue this down here. I inked this, pre-inked this already. Okay, and I think it just works out beautifully with this arrow right here. Then, so we have, I went ahead and attached photo mats to this here. And we have a closure here. Now we need a closure here, okay? So if you're afraid that this is going to get messed up, then you can add acetate right behind here so it can snap back. But that's not the closure. This is going to be the closure right here, okay? And I'm going to put acetate on this. And then we're going to insert this with a couple eyelets. All right, so where's my acetate? Here it is. So I'm going to cut this to size. Okay, I'm going to glue it on just so it can stay on. But the glue really doesn't, it actually does stick to the acetate, but in my head it's just like, no. Because it's not absorbing into the acetate, right? It's just sitting on top of it. But the glue does work. It does stick. But again, I'm going to hold this down with eyelets. I put it on the glue. I put glue on there so I can easily cut around it. That's truly what I did the glue for. Okay, so that is that. And again, you can stick some acetate behind that, which I probably should have done before I glued down, but it really wasn't that important to me, but I probably should have. I don't have a problem lifting things up, guys, because if I'm careful, it'll just rip wherever I'm going to glue down. See that? So I'm going to put acetate on this too, just so it doesn't get jacked up, because it will over that photo mat there. I like my constructions to be not only look pretty, but they need to be practical. You know, they have to work. Because if I'm going to layer this over this and then I'm lifting this up and down, up and down, up and down, it's going to get messed up. So I want it to work. All right, so I'm just going to glue this on here. So a great way to do that is you put acetate and it will not crease, is what you're looking for. You don't want it to crease. It takes a lot. Like you physically have to bend it back, burnish so that so acetate creases. Okay, so there you go, my friends. Now that will not crease and it's gonna look good, right? That's what we want. We want all of these projects to look good. So remember this here, now it's covered with this lovely little embellishment, and that goes over that, and I'm going to put 2 eyelets right here, okay, and then 2 eyelets right here. So let me grab, and this you pull down. You pull this, you're going to pull this down. All right, I wonder if I should go up a little higher. It could go off the page actually, like a tab outside the book, and we can do that there and there, and it'll just be a little tip. Ooh, I do like that. Do I want to do that, guys? I think I do want to do that. It could be a tab outside the book, and it'll just be the little tip holding it there, so it won't be too much. Uh-oh, I gotta get my eyelets on there. Let me do this side first here, so they won't move. Oh, my nose is running. So eyelet there, punch a hole, and I will be doing some hammering. One right there, and one right there. And then, oh, I'm low on eyelets. I gotta go to my stash. I need 2 more for over here. All right, so I'm gonna get this in there. It'll add just the right amount of metal to make it a wee bit exciting. This is a long video. I'm trying to get these to not be so long, but I can't help it. All right, so the hammering is not bad on this. If it's annoying to you, just fast forward, guys. All right, there are the 2 eyelets. Perfect. Now that's not going to go anywhere. Very cute. I was thinking about putting this down here, but I don't know that I need it. But look how good. All right, let's do this one. Decide, Kathy. Decide. I don't want it to be too much, because although I can lift this pretty high without it bending, I absolutely can. Without it creasing, excuse me. I'm going to put it on the edge of the page. Okay, so that's going to be I'm just going to hit it with a teeny bit of glue. Just a bit, just enough to keep it stabilized, because I got to punch all the way through. All right, And I want my punch to be pretty close to the edge without going over, right? Without going over the edge. Okay, and now eyelet, eyelet. Some more hammering, people. Alrighty, look at how cute. So you can really, look, really snap that back. And snap this back, and it's going to be just fine. Okay? And I love that's not really attached there. So good. Alright guys, look at that. How fun is this? Love this. And before we bind our book, we are going to make the photo mats for all of our pockets. That way we can size our binding properly. Okay? So very, very exciting. You can even put some string here if you want to. Put some string here if you want to. I don't know that I'm going to do that. Let me put these tools back because then I can't find them. Let's put that back. All right, so this is done. So layout number 2 looks absolutely fabulous. I hope you love it. So this is moving parts layout 2. Let's guesstimate how many pictures. We have a pocket here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoop, I knew this was for something. 10, 11. I will glue these on my own time. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And these can be full 4x6s. 15 pictures in this layout, guys. All right, so absolutely fantastic. All right, I leave you with this goodie. This is another goodie, guys. Really, so good. So good. See you in the next video. Check out that description box below. It'll have all of the links you need to make your very own Moving Parts 2 album.